The year of trophy droughts ending was a thing. Tottenham, first trophy in 17 years. Stuttgart, first trophy in 18 years. Newcastle, first trophy in 56 years. Crystal Palace, first ever trophy. Bologna, first trophy in 61 years. And now PSG win their first ever Champions League title. Let's talk about this game, boys. Thoughts, takeaways? What did y'all think about this 5-0 demolition?
The game taught me a lot, man. I would say my biggest takeaway of that 5-0 thrashing is that Serie A is overrated, man. Serie A is an overrated league. Inter showed up as, the best defense in Europe, fluid side, 3-5-2, great coaching, fantastic midfield, and they got absolutely demolished by some youngsters in Paris. And this loss will send Inter down a spiral of nothingness because they're about to enter another banter era. It was disgusting. I was hearing DiMarco, top 3 left back in the world shouts.
Someone on this panel was saying that apparently.
He got hooked in back-to-back games right after the half. Why not think about it half?
Playing injured.
Still?
But you
still injured.
You could play injured for months. Doesn't matter.
Bro.
So take a break before the final.
To say it's overrated just because of one game is
Been the semi and the final.
He got cooked both.
No,
Marco.
I said overrated the league. To say that the league is overrated from one game.
Is it just one game though?
It's been one game.
Juve had the most CL final losses in history.
Okay, we're not talking about
Inter
time.
lost 3 finals in what, 2 years? Or sorry, 2 finals in 3 years.
Plus a Europa League final. They lost.
What's going on with Serie A?
We're not talking about all time though. If you're all time, Serie A's top 2 probably. I don't want to hear all time because if we're talking about all time, it's not close.
But is top 2 saying much when 1 is like here and 2 is like here?
No, what are you talking about?
How?
What do you mean how?
Madrid
15.
and Barcelona.
Okay, Barcelona has 5.
Yeah.
AC Milan has 7.
Okay.
Okay.
Juve.
So how are they up here and
Juve.
we're here?
Juve got 2, right?
2, Inter has 2.
got 2.
Okay.
That's it.
Right, we're up to what, 11?
11.
Right, I'm sure we
Half,
can find a
pretty
couple
much.
more. No one else.
I don't know.
Napoli.
Napoli never won one.
What'd they win?
Europa.
So pretty much half. So is this and this not fair then?
No.
It's about half.
No.
Well, I mean, to be fair, most of that's carried by Madrid. Like, if you take Madrid out,
Yeah.
You take
Take
Milan,
Milan
out.
out.
then Serie A are probably ahead.
Has less than Barca.
No.
No.
Serie A
Oh yeah.
4 without
Oh, it
Milan.
was only 4.
Yeah.
I tried,
There you go.
I tried to help you, but I couldn't. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but you got to also.
No, I'll be honest. Inter have 3, so
Oh, 3.
it's
Yeah.
tied.
There you go.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Wow.
Okay, it doesn't matter. We're not talking about all time here. I thought we were talking about like at least the last 2-3
Okay,
years.
so but what did that final show for Serie A on the global stage?
To me, it looked like Inter's heads just weren't in the game. Their coach literally just signed a contract with Al Hilal the day before the Champions League final.
Is that confirmed?
It seems like it is.
I don't know.
I feel
Why
like
would he sign it before the final and not wait for that after the final?
I feel like that was like smoke and mirrors from like the media. I
Yeah.
feel like the PSG group kind of maybe paid off some of the media there to kind of start that rumor. Because like, dude, how convenient is the timing of that? Where you
I
never
know.
heard of him leaving the club at all, and now all of a sudden, like the day before, like one of the biggest games of his managerial career, all of a sudden now he's making this shock move to Saudi for crazy money.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you now, A, it probably doesn't even happen, and then B, like we don't hear of it again. It was definitely just like some smoke and mirrors to kind of put stuff in people's heads, give the players some doubt, whatever.
No, it's
And
gonna happen.
maybe it worked. You know what I mean? And maybe he does end up going because you know what? Probably no better time to leave than after a game like that, and maybe just kind of give the club a chance to start fresh. Try to build off of this team. But it's tough because I feel like it's almost like a little bit of like a ticking time bomb, that Inter team, because like a lot of their core players are getting up there in age, so it's like you may have to start to retool a little bit in that squad, because I think like going deep in the tournament and even competing in all 3, I think you saw in that final just like an exhausted team, because like they went pretty much as far as you can go in every single competition, right? Because they lost in the final, right, of the Coppa Italia? Semis of Coppa Italia. They went to the last match day in Serie A, right? And then all the way to the final of the Champions League as well, with a squad that is very much aging, right? So I think like, with that being said, like it's tough to compete in 3 competitions with like a normal squad, let alone a squad that's like aged, right? Like you see how hard it is for some of these clubs to compete in all 3 competitions, right? But they were able to go to the very end of everything, which, you know, obviously chapeau, it's very impressive, but I think it was a little unfortunate the way they just got thrashed in the final, right? Because like that's like very like not Serie A, not Inter, you know what I mean? Especially from what we've seen from them like so far this tournament, even this year, they're supposed to be this stout defensive side who don't concede a lot, they don't give you a lot, and then it was done within like what 20 minutes, 24 minutes. It was 2-0.
Well,
right?
I don't know how impressive it is if you were in contention for all 3 trophies and came out with nothing.
Still impressive to be there.
I wouldn't say so.
Right? To be there, it takes something to be there, right? At the
I
end of the
wouldn't
day.
say so. Like, I would say it's an absolute failure of a season from Inter's part.
Yeah, it could be. I
You
think
came
like,
out with no trophy.
they should have maybe prioritized, right? At least one to come
They
away with
did
something.
the UCL. They prioritized it.
And it didn't work out.
I don't-
They did. They definitely prioritized the UCL.
I think
but-
they prioritized all of the above. They weren't rotating that much.
And that's the thing too, right? Like that was the one thing that was shocked me. Dude, I was telling you, even we were watching the game together. Dude, the subs. Where's the like? There's no depth in that squad, brother. 4 of the 5 subs are defensive players. In a final, you're down 2-3-0, and you're subbing on defenders. Like I think like the one I guess issue I have with Inzaghi as a manager is he clearly didn't have a plan B. He only had his plan A, and then when that plan A failed him, they didn't know what to do. The players looked lost. And that's like my only issue with like playing a system like that is you can't really shy away from it. You have to live by it. You have to die by it. And that's what they did. They died by it in that final because like they probably should have switched formations or switched something up after 25 minutes, but they don't have the personnel to do it. And you saw it in that game.
Well, I saw a guy score against Barca and Bayern Munich, and he didn't get brought off the bench for Tessie.
Yeah.
Why didn't he bring him on?
I don't know.
He was even cheese too. He said in the press conference, like he went out to Inzaghi, like, "Why don't you bring me on?"
I think it was a little bit too late. They're already down like whatever amount. He's like usually comes on like the 60th, 70th.
The game was wrapped at that
The
point.
game was
But
wrapped
no
up.
minutes for Taremi though.
I think it's the same thing.
I don't think it would have done anything, to be honest. Like,
So they just conceded
Yeah,
that result.
I think they did.
That's even worse. That's so embarrassing.
It is. I'm not saying it's not. They got slapped. If I don't feel like there should be a Serie A team ever getting slapped 5-0 in a Champions League game.
well, not just City that team. I don't think any team should
No,
be getting
no.
slapped
But like
5-0.
of all leagues, like Serie A to get slapped 5-0 shouldn't happen. But for them to get destroyed, like the whole team was asleep that game. They didn't come to play.
So what's one word you would use to describe Inter's performance?
Ass.
Damn.
And look, the way I look at it, Inter's a great team. I saw them against Barca. They were pretty good. But
No, they knocked you guys out.
Barella's legacy's done.
No.
He's done.
I don't think
he's
he's done.
He got played off the pitch by Vitinha, who struggled at Wolves.
Yeah, but
No,
who,
it's a
who
different
did,
Vitinha.
Who didn't get played off the pitch by that
The whole
PSG
team, the
midfield?
whole Inter team. Lautaro has a barrel, and he's somehow the face of Hypervenom now.
HGH belly, bro.
Thuram was nowhere to be seen. DiMarco, like, oh my god, he's like just first of all, lose the hair. You're going bald. Lose the hair, and disastrous performance. That first goal,
That's his fault.
first of all, he's keeping everyone on side. And why is he rushing to the other side of the flank to try to win that ball and leaving his guy open? I didn't understand that. Deflection. When you're getting deflections like that, that just means you're having a bad game. That doesn't happen to people having good games. Like, it's just his head's not in it, distracted and just messing up. And yeah, it was Acerbi was like Acerbi rejected an Italy call after the game. He texted Spalletti saying, "Nah, I'm not down," and betrayed his country.
No,
This is a disgusting performance.
I respect that because coming
No,
up,
I don't respect that.
I respect that, bro. He's seen that he's gassed. He gave it his all this year. He was probably tired in the final. You could see the difference between the way he played against Barca and the difference he played against PSG. It was a completely different player.
No, the reason I don't respect him, he wore the same boots he wore against Barca that had holes in them.
Yeah, I don't get
How
that.
are you wearing a boot with a... Did you see the hole?
It was
No,
a
I
pretty
actually
big hole.
didn't.
It's a big one. It's like that.
It was
like
a pretty big
gaping hole,
Yeah,
bro.
it was
It's
gaping.
huge.
Where?
But he's like, oh,
By the
right,
toe.
right
Where the
here.
toe?
Yeah,
Right
Really?
really? Toe. They literally got stepped on.
But he's like,
didn't
oh, I'm
know.
superstitious. You're playing with like not safe boots,
Yeah.
which didn't make sense. And I actually don't respect the Italy thing because he did it in a disrespectful fashion. He texted the gaffer saying, "I'm done." Not even a call. He's like, "Spalletti,
Yeah.
I'm good."
But that's allegedly. Like
It's alleged.
But who's coming out? Who's coming out?
But
with this
I also
information?
don't respect because he also said it's not because of this 5-0 result. It clearly is.
Cap.
It clearly is. That's cap.
Maybe it's
Yeah.
because of his age.
Yeah, who knows? It could be a number of things, right? But I definitely think he still should have gone to like support. You know what I mean? Like should have been there to support the other guys, even if he's not playing. Because if he is too tired, sure, he just rides pine and just is on the bench. But he should still go there. Be a mentor, go with the team.
Especially because this is a big cycle. It's World Cup qualifying.
Yeah.
Italy need results, and your country needs you.
Unless maybe he realizes that maybe he can't play up to the level that.
But he clearly had a
should.
great season, no?
Yeah.
But maybe he thinks that he's gassed, like Chris said. Maybe the season maybe just took a toll on him, right? And he's also someone who's been through a lot, right, in his career, right? Like mentally.
Rest
as
during
well.
the Club World Cup.
Aren't they in the Club World Cup?
Yeah, take a rest first couple of games against Kawasaki or Urawa Red Diamonds.
Yeah.
Mamelodi
But
Sundowns.
when's the international? It's now, no? Isn't
Yeah.
it? It's before the Club
Yeah.
World Cup.
He might be out of the team by then.
Get your game in, and yeah, that's it. Then you can go on vacation, man.
Inter already named a couple players that they're getting rid of.
Who knows? He
He's
could
on the
also maybe
list.
not be. Maybe he's not in like the plans overall. Like
He's not.
heading into like the World Cup next year. I'm saying like 2026. Like he might not be a starter for that team.
I mean, he's like
Potentially.
38. I
Right.
hope not.
Yeah.
So-
At that age.
So maybe at that point he's realizing, you know what? Like I gave it my all this season. Like maybe I don't have it in me to play at the level I want to anymore. And he's just maybe took like a respectful knee. Right?
It's kind of just giving up, man. I don't like that.
It could be,
okay,
but
the reason the performance was so bad, the Inter players just gave up. There was no mentality. They showed up to Lautaro was crying before kickoff. I heard it might have been a family situation at home, which of course is sad, but you can't be crying. Did you see the clip?
No.
He was bawling his eyes out before the whistle blew
Come on.
for kickoff. Like, lock in. Like, first of all, you have a barrel. Second, you gotta have a strong mentality. It's the UCL final.
So-
you can't be crying before the game.
So he was moving like Jordi Alba at halftime against Liverpool.
Yes.
Okay, what Argentinian doesn't have a barrel though? What Argentinian
I don't think
striker?
Julian Alvarez has a barrel.
What Argentinian striker?
it's part of their build.
Higuain,
Tevez.
Tevez,
Yeah, Messi's got a little bit of
Messi
a
has a
barrel
little
too.
bit. Yeah, a little bit. Lavezzi.
Yeah.
I guess.
Oh, they all
I
did.
think it's genetic, right? It's genetic. I think once they get to a certain age, it just kind of just develops. It protrudes a little bit more. But
Okay, but like
I agree. Shameful
I'm
performance. I
sorry.
think overall.
I was embarrassed by that Barella performance because I think that game was brutal for his PR.
Yeah, I agree.
He's done, man.
Well, dude, I don't think there's a single Inter player that's coming out of that game with good PR.
Like,
Bastoni's PR is
Mkhitaryan-
cooked too.
Yeah.
I guess, but like
Everyone.
Barella got literally played off the pitch by Vitinha.
It wasn't
and
just
Vitinha's a
him.
class,
It wasn't
obviously.
just him. It was the whole team that got played off the pitch. I think there
But it looks bad when Barella is seen as your best player and like Inter fans hype him up. Inter fans do hype him up as the best midfielder in the world. They do.
yeah, that's fair.
He was not the best midfielder in the world that game. Not even close.
Yeah, he's
He looked like he should play for a pub side that game.
probably third or fourth in that game.
Maybe not even. I'm taking Fabian Ruiz over him in that game.
yeah,
Talking
fourth.
Jean Neves over him in that game.
Yeah,
Vitinha.
he's fourth.
And
He was probably the best
Jean
Inter
Naglu was
midfielder.
sweating, man.
He was, yeah.
He was
like
cooked.
No, Çalhanoğlu and Mkhitaryan did absolutely nothing.
the whole team didn't do anything, right? And I think like that game PSG played it perfectly, right? They had their game plan. There was far too much space between like the Inter front two and the rest of the team. Anytime they hoofed it long, they had no support. They lost the ball right away. If the Inter player did get the second ball, there was 4 PSG players swarming every time. There's nothing they can do. PSG, they just wanted it more, to be honest. Like I think it sums it up perfectly is that clip of Dembele that was going around the timeline. I don't know if you guys saw it. Sommer is taking like a goal kick out the back, and Dembele's literally just at the top of the box, just like this.
Staring him
Just
down.
staring at him like this with a little mustache, just staring at him like this. And like he was there, he was eager, he was ready to press, and the ball got played, and he ran. Like brother must have covered like 15 kilometers that game. He didn't stop running the whole time, and you know what? Not for anything. Like when you're a side like Inter, who if you're conceding and you're playing as the underdog, you have to want it more. You can't be the worst team and not want it as much, and that's what we saw in that game. That's why you got slapped, because you're the worst team, and you didn't want it as much as the other team. Dude, if the better team wants it more than you, it's done. It's a wrap. The game was done by halftime. We could have left the bar at halftime. We could have, and we would have known the result.
Okay, but does a lot of that come down to coaching? Because what does that tell you that an older, experienced, seasoned side didn't want it as much as some youngsters. Does coaching have a big part in that? Is Inzaghi to blame heavily for that aspect, the mentality?
I mean, you know what? It could be a number of things. I think obviously it probably does come down a little bit to coaching, but I think like, dude, like not for anything, but you need to be a brilliant fucking coach to be able to like pull your team together after like all the losses that Inter had this season. Like they were getting hit left, right, and center with like these losses, and I think like your players are all down here. Like no matter how good your team talk is, it's gonna be extremely hard to get them to be like on top of the moon heading into that game. Where PSG just had that confidence, they had the aura. Enrique probably didn't have to say much. You know what I mean? He probably had to say one, two things, but you know what? Like the PSG team seemed like more of a unit. Right, which to be honest is not what we're used to seeing with these PSG sides. Usually PSG is more of that like a bunch of individuals, they can't play together. Not this side. Everyone was playing for each other, right? You saw it. They're all playing for the badge. They're all playing for each other. The Inter team just looked a little bit more disjointed. You know what I mean? Like maybe it was some of the rumors with Inzaghi. Maybe his head wasn't in it. Maybe the players were all cheese because they lost every trophy this season and they thought, oh, it's happening again. And as soon as that first and second goal went in, they kind of just collapsed, right? Like they just lost hope, right? Because after that second goal went in, the game was done. Even you can say the first goal.
Yeah, once the first goal went in, I would say. Then it was all just PSG. Yeah. But like even the way like Inter was countering, like from watching the Barca game, when you guys watched the Barca game, like how fast did they counter you guys?
Pretty quick.
It's night and day. PSG was just Lautaro and Thuram. That's it up top. No one helped them out at all. Against Barca, they had the whole team come back. They were just weren't. I don't know. It looked like a different Inter. Hey, wake up. That's what are you supposed to say to them?
I mean, their mentality was on the floor from the beginning. Like obviously they lost out on all the trophies they could have before coming to the final, and then PSG they had something to prove, right?
Yeah, they're just. I don't know. It was just a bad managed game. Luis Enrique been there, done that already. He's won a treble with Barca. He knows how to get his team to win a treble or win this big trophy, and he went out and did it.
But look, this team like Inter is coming off a high. How is their mentality so shot? They beat a brilliant, iconic Barcelona side in major fashion. Why was their mentality so shot? They should have been getting into this game on a high. You know, they should be thinking, man, this PSG side, they're talented, but they're young. They're inexperienced. Like, we have the experience, the tactical prowess to be able to, you know, play circles around this team. But I think this PSG team represent how to win in football now and going forward. Fluid, fast, direct football with interchanging position. Mm-hmm. I think PSG could win like 3 or 4 Champions Leagues in the next decade.
This might also be like the death of like a true striker. Because if we're having these interchanging strikers come in, interchanging forwards come in, the death of like the big man striker, the target man striker like Lewandowski or Haaland, this might be the end of them. Or Gyökeres.
Yeah, I seen Vitinha in an interview saying that when Lucho first got to the team, like he was focused on just positional play, like everyone staying to their position. But then the season after, everything switched. Everything became, everyone plays different positions. We all switch around, just try to confuse the opponents and stuff like that. And positional play just died out in that next season with PSG and clearly worked for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sick way to play. I mean, if you're able to play 6, 8, and 10, you're gonna confuse your opponent. Because how do you game plan for that?
Yeah,
it's a lot of.
How do you game plan for like Kvara starting on the left wing and then somehow he's on the right wing and then he's striker and you know they don't miss a beat. You know that's almost impossible to game plan for.
You can't. What are you supposed to do? You're gonna play man mark and make the right back follow Kvara the whole game.
Yeah,
like you can't. You literally can't game plan for that. You're gonna have, as a left back, right back, center back, you're gonna have a different player come at you like literally every single time, which is hard to defend because you start realizing how a player plays after a little bit, but you're not getting that chance anymore. They're just coming at you in different ways every single time. Mm-hmm. Another thing that Luis Enrique said after the game, he said, "I'd rather have all my players score 12 goals rather than have one player that scores 40 goals." Do you think that? I think that might be a shot at Mbappe. You think so?
It might be. Like, we all saw that clip of Enrique talking to Mbappe in like the theater room saying like, I know you're a phenomenon, but like when your team needs to defend, you need to be putting in that effort. I know Jordan's your idol. When he wasn't scoring buckets, he was helping his team defend like crazy. And clearly Mbappe doesn't do that. And seems like Dembele picked up on that. Took what Enrique said to Mbappe, put that to heart, and then
He
put
was
that into the
pressing like
final,
a
right?
madman. He was pressing like a madman. And that's sometimes what you need. You need your whole team to be locked in and do it. But I guess like my question for you guys, like let's say for example, if Mbappe is in this team instead of Kvara, do you think they're still winning the CL?
No.
No.
It wouldn't be interchangeable like they were doing.
We saw the amount of egos in these past PSG sides. They couldn't get it done. Some would say maybe better players, but this PSG side now are the better team, and that's what they needed to win the final, right? A more cohesive team that works for each other, works off the ball, on the ball, and they just got it done.
Yeah. Sorry. I could see in this game Dembele, like I think he was like the true captain of this team. I know Marquinhos is the captain of the team, but the hunger that he went out with, like literally brought. I think that he brought PSG to that next level just from that hunger that he had, because you could see the whole team pressing. Kvara was going heavy on the pressing. Doue was going nuts on the press. Doue is the youngest player to score in Champions League history. Everyone thought this year was going to be Yamal, but it ended up being Doue. Champions League final history, I should say. But I want to ask, if Barcelona was in this final, would they have won it?
Who knows? They didn't make it, so I can't tell you that. But I think they would have given up a fight more than Inter did, to be honest.
Most teams, I think, would have.
Yeah. I mean, you never know. It's tough
Yeah.
to say, man. Like, assuming, all the players are fit, which they are. We didn't have everyone fit for the semis. Who knows?
Yeah, I think they would have put up a better fight. Would have been a more back and forth game, I think. Two heavy attacking sides. It's tough to say, man. I would like to say, yeah, Barca would have won, but it's tough to say. I don't know. But I am happy to say, and I want to let the audience know this, I was always right about Ousmane Dembele. I was always right. I was the only one that stood by him and believed in him when no one else did. When he was a flop, when he was injured, when he had a bad attitude, look at him now. Best attitude, best mentality, and taking over the world scene and potentially a Ballon d'Or winner come September. I was right.
It just took him
Want a
leaving a
sticker?
toxic club.
Nah.
He was toxic himself, bro. He locked in after he got married. After that, propelled himself further as a player.
Did he get married while he was at Barca?
At the end, yeah. Like
Okay,
around
so what do you
Xavi's
guys
time.
have to say to me, like, given what we've seen now from Dembele? You gonna give me my flowers now?
No.
No.
What? Why? The heck?
Because he did
Congrats,
nothing.
like,
He did
stuck
nothing
with
for
the player
Barca.
from the beginning.
Yeah,
Man.
you guys thought he was done.
Huh?
You guys thought he was done.
Who?
All of you, Dembele.
Okay.
I was right.
And
Give me my flowers.
why?
Because that shows my ball knowledge.
Does it?
Yeah. I said he's one of the most talented players ever.
That was never denied.
Well, I said he had Ballon d'Or potential.
Did you?
Yes.
Okay.
I said
He hasn't won it.
I said when fit, he's like the most devastating player on the planet.
Okay. I've seen that happen.
No, but you didn't believe though.
Yeah, I believed it when he was fit and playing for Barca.
You wanted him gone though.
Yeah, because he wasn't fit.
I didn't want
He
him
wasn't
gone.
playing. Availability is the best ability.
But would he have done this at Barca?
Man, they weren't playing him the right way, man. And they didn't believe in him.
Xavi believed in him.
Barely. Not enough.
Even Dembele said.
Yeah, but not enough though.
What do you mean not
Not to
enough?
put him in positions to succeed.
I think he did.
Lucho, man. Best coach.
Would you guys take Lucho back over Hansi?
No.
Nah, because his team is like, it's structured around Hansi Flick football right now. So I wouldn't want to interrupt that.
Okay, let's
You want a
say.
domestic treble. Like, well, you don't just let a man go after that.
But let's say you had the choice of restarting a team. You could sign 5 players from PSG, his players. Would you take Luis Enrique back? That you could sign the whole front 3 if you want to.
But are you giving
No.
up your front 3 that you have?
Yeah, you gotta trade your front 3 though. Obviously, you're trading a player for one of their players.
No.
No.
Look, I like my team and I like Hansi Flick.
It's two different teams, I think. At the
I
end
like
of the
my
day.
roster.
Yeah, it's two different teams.
Okay, let me ask a question though.
Yes.
Was this PSG performance the most dominating Champions League final performance ever from a team?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Second being, I think, 93-94, AC Milan versus Barcelona 4-1. But this 5-0, bro, insane. I don't think we're ever going to see something like this in a long time because the past finals, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 2-1.
Well, we were looking at
2-0.
even like historically, like the majority of finals end up being like 1-0. They always end up being like 1-goal games. But I think like the biggest thing with this is like even like scoreline aside, like it was just like a very dominating game. You know what I mean? Like there's one thing for the scoreline to be like a 3-0, but maybe the other team just got like super unlucky. They had their chances, but it just wasn't going in. But like Inter didn't even have chances. Like I can't really remember Donnarumma having to do like
He had one save, I
a
think.
single thing. Like I think he had the one save on, I forget who it was, but other than that, like they had nothing to do. Like they didn't create any danger at all. And to me, that was the more concerning part. Like it's one thing, like if you go out there and you're getting slapped 5-0, but you went and you gave it your all to create chances and to at least make the other team work. But like, dude, to be honest, like I don't think Pacho broke a sweat
No,
at the
I
back.
don't know.
You know what I mean? Like he didn't really have to do much, to be honest. Like I feel like maybe, you know, other than like maybe winning a couple aerial duels, like, but he wasn't really sweating like that game at all, I feel like. And that for me was the more concerning part. If I'm an Inter fan, like how does this translate into next season? You know what I mean? Like, do you think that this team now has kind of given up on themselves because of a performance that bad? Because you've seen it in the past, like teams sometimes implode after getting dominated like that and humiliated on the big stage, right? Like if you look at that, like Brazil haven't really been the same since they got slapped around like that, right? Other teams as well. Even Barcelona had that little bit of like a down spell after they got slapped and humiliated by Bayern, right? So like, do you guys think that this is gonna cause this Inter team to completely implode?
Oh, yeah. If Inzaghi's on his way out, yes. It looks like they have a list of players that are going to be out as well. Looks like Cesc might be the replacement. They're already looking for Cesc, so it seems
He's
like
killing his career if he goes there.
yeah, I think so too. But it seems like Inzaghi is going to leave. So them losing Inzaghi right there is going to be tough. And we've seen Pepe Marotta is one of the best at making signings, but after a while, when his team starts to age a little bit too much, his team does die down. It was kind of like with us. We started signing like Matuidi. I know Matuidi was good for a little bit, but he started signing all these aging players for free. Rabiot, all these guys, whatever. I think the same thing is going to happen with Inter, and it's going to start this year once Inzaghi's gone. He's gonna. This Inter team's going to be too old next year because unless they get rid of every old player on this team, they have no chance of regaining that youthfulness yet. So I don't know. I think this might be the end of Inter for a little bit.
I mean, that PSG performance is up there with Barcelona versus Man U in 2011 when they slapped them 3-1. You had Scholes, Rooney, Rio coming out saying, you know, we got played off the pitch and it was embarrassing and they wanted to go hide.
But at least they scored.
So they scored, yet they were still played off the pitch. That's how dominant the performance was.
Yeah.
So it's up there, man. PSG, like you said, Inter barely touched the ball, barely created anything. And shout out PSG, man, for a young squad to go out like that. Desiree Doue, man,
What a player.
did his thing. But they gave Desiree Doue young player of the tournament for this season's Champions League. And Dembele won player of the tournament. Does this make sense to you guys? Is that accurate?
Maybe you could say for Desiree's case, I guess. But in terms of Dembele winning player of the tournament, how?
It's always gonna go to
Rafinha
a
had
winner.
most goals. He had most assists. He had big game performances against big teams. Dembele, what? Just because he won the final, he gets the player of the.
Yeah, but when was the last time they gave player of the tournament to a player that like didn't win?
Does that matter though?
I think it does.
Should it?
Not necessarily, but I think it probably plays like a huge factor in like the awards realistically. Because like up until like Doue had a great run, but like up until the final, like he wasn't necessarily like a big contributor for PSG. Like he wasn't even starting some of the games, right? But you know what? It's recency bias. Even if you look at the total team of the tournament, like that got released by UEFA, it's mostly PSG players, right? And you know a lot of that I think is like recency bias for them winning, and I think it's just one of those things, right? You can't necessarily take it like seriously. Like, you know, it's probably going to go to like the leading player on the team who wins is going to win the player of the tournament, right? I think for me personally, like, if I had to give it for a player on PSG, like I would probably give it to like João Neves or Vitinha, someone in the midfield, because I think they were really that kind of heartbeat of the team that kind of kept everything ticking. But again, like I don't have a problem with Dembele winning it, to be honest. Like I feel like it's fine.
I think it's a shame, man, because Rafinha had an all-timer campaign. Most goals, most assists. Set a record for GA in a Champions League season. Had big moments. So I get the winning portion, but should have been Rafinha for keeping it at 100.
Nah, I don't know. I don't think you can give it to a player that got knocked out in the semis.
Semis is pretty far. It's one below the
Like
final.
you guys said, not far enough, right?
Yeah, but in terms of what he put up,
Yeah, he put up good numbers, but I low key. I know he didn't do anything in the final. He didn't have to. Donnarumma, the amount of times that he saved them in the knockout stage is crazy. PSG wouldn't even be in the final.
I don't think they give it for a goalie though. Isn't that a separate reward?
I'd probably be goalie of the tournament. That's why I wasn't sure if he could get it or not. But if I had to give it for player of the tournament, honestly, I would give it to Donnarumma.
What'd you guys think of Hakimi not celebrating after he scored?
I
Because
rated
to me, that's insane, bro. Like you're scoring in a final for a team that's never won the Champions League, and you're not celebrating. I don't care that you played for Inter.
He celebrated a little bit after.
They didn't love you like that, but he was like this. No,
He did this, but then he did like the. I don't know, he did something.
I would have been going crazy,
with
bro. I would
Doue
have
or
been moving like
something.
Doue. Take off my shirt.
Yeah, I think that's a prime example of football going woke, per se. That's like a woke football opinion. Because, man, he played 1 year at Inter. He scored the opening goal for PSG, a team that's never won the Champions League. And he's doing the sorry gimmick.
Crazy.
I thought that was ridiculous as well.
I feel like you could celebrate, but then say like do like a little bit of this after, like or whatever. I don't
Nah.
know.
Oh, you're there a year, bro.
Huh?
You're there a year.
Yeah, but still, like they were still like your fans for a year.
A year ain't nothing.
Nah, I
man.
don't like. It's not one of those things where like, let's say if I was an Inter fan, and I seen Hakimi celebrate, I wouldn't really get too cheesed. Like, I would understand it, man. You're scoring in the Champions League final for a team that's never won, and he played 1 year.
Yeah.
I respect it though.
I don't
Really?
really.
Why?
I don't know. I guess like he respects the club. Like he was probably pretty thankful for his time there, right? Did they win something when he was there? Maybe the league,
Yeah, I think they won something
right?
with him.
So I think that's good. That's hashtag respect in my books.
Yeah, but again, like, what he's doing that to try to make 4-3-3 top 10 football respect moments.
He could be. He could be. Right?
I
Or
think
maybe he
it's-
just generally respects the club, right?
But does he respect PSG?
I think so, 100%.
Does he celebrate when you? What about his fans? What about the
Whose
club
fans?
he plays for his fans?
They were still celebrating.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
scored a goal
but
for
like
him.
you owe the fans a dope celebration. I feel like.
He celebrated with Doue after.
Yeah, you do your handshake and whatnot, but nah, I don't rate the gimmick, man. I'm sorry.
I don't mind it,
I do.
honestly. So question for you guys then.
Yeah.
Let's say, for example, Rafinha leaves this summer, right? He scores against you guys in the Champions League next year. Are you mad if he celebrates?
I think that's very different. Rafinha's like a Ballon d'Or candidate. Was our best player, and he was
One season.
He's been at Barca for 3 years.
One good season.
He's
One
been a
relevant
good
season.
season?
One
I would say
relevant
two.
season. One relevant season. No one was talking.
Relevant.
You guys wanted him gone before this
Me?
season. Matthews.
Nah.
Don't backtrack right now.
I didn't want him gone, but I said if an 80 mil plus offer came in his first season he was there, yeah, because they needed the money.
I don't think that's a good comparison.
I think it's similar.
No,
How?
think it's similar.
Literally not at all.
Yeah, it's similar.
How's it similar?
In what way?
They both played for the club, right?
They both played one year.
versus 3.
I don't think it's that much of a difference. One versus
Who
three.
made a bigger impact for their club?
Well, I mean, technically, you can argue Hakimi.
Why?
Oh, he's a huge.
He was like the best right back.
He's
in
the best
world
right back in
at
the
that
world.
time.
I don't know about that.
Yes.
dude, he
Rafinha's
was
a top 3 Ballon d'Or
he
candidate.
was crucial.
Yeah, no,
He's
yeah.
crucial for the system.
He scored. He has
Right.
the most goals and assists in this Champions League season.
Yeah. So what?
Who else has done that?
What had most goals and assists in a Champions League season?
Yeah.
You're clip farming right
I'm
now.
not clip farming, dude. There's a player every year that has most goals and assists.
Yeah,
What
but
are you
there's
talking
no
about?
comparison though. Like that's not
For
a
what?
good comparison per se.
Okay, so when we pick another player, what about
Yeah.
what about Lewandowski? 2 seasons.
He's about to enter his 4th year, Barca. Hey, let me know if Rafinha
Give
comes
me a
same
player.
time.
Give me a player who's there for like 1 year. I can't think.
You're making the argument, not
Yeah,
me.
you're making the argument.
I
Bro.
don't, I'm not gonna make the argument.
Inigo
for you.
Martinez.
Yamal.
I don't
Yamal's
care.
been hell on.
Yamal's
too.
an academy.
Yeah,
player.
yeah. If Inigo, I wouldn't care.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
You wouldn't care.
No.
If he scored.
Bro, he's been playing football for what? He's 33 now?
Yeah.
This is his only good season.
mean, it's only good season. He was good before then.
And he's also been at 2 seasons for Barca, not even 1.
Okay, you guys don't sign any players, huh? Who'd you guys sign? Daniel. Daniel.
Yeah, I don't care.
You guys
Let-
don't
let
care
him
about.
celebrate.
You guys don't care about Daniel.
I like
That's
him.
different.
Let him celebrate
I don't know.
if he dips next season, which he might.
He might anyway.
No,
but
like
I don't
the way
mind.
I look at it, you work so hard to make it to the top level. You only get so many chances to play and score in a Champions League final. But I'm gonna waste that moment going like this instead of going crazy with my Sally. I
don't
think it's a
mind it.
waste of
I
time.
don't mind it. I think he genuinely respected Inter Milan, and I think he obviously appreciated his time there. So I honestly don't have a problem with him not celebrating.
He didn't like Inter never did him wrong.
Yeah.
Inter he played.
Yeah, but celebrating isn't like, oh, you did me wrong. I'm gonna celebrate against you.
Is celebrating disrespectful when it's in a final?
I don't think the Inter fans would have minded that he celebrated, but I also don't think that there's an issue with him not celebrating. Do you know what I mean?
Like this is a player that is super religious. He's super respectful player.
But what does celebration
hold
have to
on.
do with respect?
Hold on, he's a super respectful person. Even you see it all the time when he has collabs with content creators and stuff. He's always super respectful. He was
Wait, when he scored the winning penalty, against Portugal, last Euro, he did a little TikTok dance.
yeah, but that's good. That's for his country.
So,
Not disrespectful.
this is a final.
Doing a TikTok dance.
Maybe a little bit.
This is to win your club's first ever final.
I was gonna say, but anyway, he was super integral for that Inter team when he played for Inter. It's not like he was someone that was in and out of the team.
Okay.
He probably got a big money move. Inter probably didn't want some. He said, "Hey, let me go." They let him go. They gave him what he wanted.
So is it respectful to leave for the cash?
Who knows?
Why not stay loyal to your team? Isn't that respect?
It is, but sometimes you gotta feed the family.
They get paid millions, bro.
But there's not that many millions.
I don't get it, man. Such a wasted time, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
just celebrate, man.
They celebrated 4 more times after that.
Good, but like you have your moment.
That wasn't guaranteed.
You
though.
ever gonna get that moment again?
Maybe
Like,
they might be back next
that's
year.
such a rare. Like, how many people in the world could say they scored in a Champions League final?
3 in
But
this,
you're gonna. But
3 in
you-
this room.
No, but you're gonna do the nonchalant gimmick. I could never do something like that, man. Never.
I don't mind it.
I don't mind it because he celebrated after. Like he didn't.
But
just,
that wasn't a guarantee that
But
you're
like-
gonna score after.
Like some people were even saying on Twitter, like they thought the goal was like ruled out.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't. I thought
Like-
it was offside. I'm not gonna lie.
Like you're ruining your moment. Like people think it's ruled out.
It's okay.
You're not even having an authentic moment at that point because you chose the nonchalant gimmick.
So what celebration are you doing then?
Bro, something sick. Run to the corner flag. Do one of these. Like
D-roll?
like arms out.
Knee
Like,
slide. Anything, bro. A little jump, fist in the air. Kind
Are you
of thing.
taking
Like
off your
sh-
shirt?
like for me,
Not a 1-0.
like even like, is he not like feeling an exhilaration in that moment? Like, is your energy not sky high? Like, how are you even capable of just going? Like the energy would just be running through my veins.
Yeah, I don't know how like that thought crosses your mind. Like, oh, better not celebrate. You know what I mean?
I think because the Inter fans were right there. Like the Inter fans were.
Yeah.
He was facing them. So when he scored, you see the Inter fans. Like you literally saw him. And he's like, right away.
But you think as soon as the ball leaves his foot and goes in the net, you think he thinks, turn around, oh wait, Inter fans are there. Let me not celebrate.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Could have been.
Come on, bro.
But also, like, low key, like, do you think we would have been talking about this if he celebrated?
Well, no. 'cause
So maybe
this
it's more.
is the
Maybe it's
topic.
more memorable moment that he didn't celebrate. Maybe this is what he wanted. Maybe
No,
he
'cause
wanted people
maybe
like us
he
to
coulda-
talk about
He
it.
could have brought an iconic celebration.
Like what?
I don't
TikTok
know, something
dance?
sick. Like his TikTok dance.
Yeah.
That was a pretty iconic celebration.
We did a cool one with Doue after, and he
I don't-
didn't
what do
respect
you
the
do?
fans. Exactly. Don't you remember it?
Do you remember?
Yeah. he did.
yeah, it
He
was
did
like a little gun thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, do it at the. Okay, so that just proves the point. He did the nonchalant gimmick for nothing because
Why?
he ended up celebrating.
Yeah,
so why did he
exactly.
do it?
It was like a nonchalant celebration.
So
though.
so both of us are happy. He celebrated and didn't celebrate. Everybody wins.
I'm not happy.
I'm not having it, bro.
You guys are clip farming, man.
Nah. I think you're clip farming.
No, I'm being honest. Like I would never do something like that. It's honestly a wimp move in my opinion.
Not celebrating against the club. That
So
you respect.
hypothetical situation, Footy Culture FC versus Buonanotte. You score in the final. Hypothetically, are you celebrating?
Yes,
There you go.
man. And like, who cares, man? Like,
Are you shushing Mario? Are you going like this? Are you going like this tomorrow?
Sure, yeah, like for the plot. Who cares?
Wow.
Bro, you play 1 year at Inter. Relax.
Big year.
Sure. You're right back.
No, he was a wing back at that time.
Whoa, right wing back. A little farther up the pitch, a couple of yards.
It's a big difference.
Ask me another question, man.
Matt, you had this ranking that you were talking about.
Yeah, so apparently UEFA have an updated club rankings coefficient. So I believe this is from the UEFA website. So top 10. So agree yes or no with me. So 1, Real Madrid.
This is like currently or all time?
Updated club rankings.
I guess this
Current.
is like based off of the last like few seasons, I would imagine.
I don't know. It's updated.
It's a point system, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
So it'd be an all-time thing.
Okay. So
Yeah.
if it's all time, then yes. Correct.
So Real Madrid 1, Man City 2.
It's not. This is not all
This
time.
isn't all time. This is they probably introduced this system at some point in the last, call it like 15 years. Maybe this is from like 2010 onwards. Assume it's 2010 onwards. I'm okay with that.
Okay, we'll do 2010 onward.
Well, it's technically a power ranking, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Bayern Munich 3rd.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
fine.
Liverpool 4.
Yeah, that's fine.
Again, that's fine.
PSG 5.
Yeah.
Just
I mean,
one
this
CL.
is
I'll
after
give
the
you a couple
CL.
points, yeah.
Inter 6.
No.
Well, 2 finals in 3 years. Before that, kind of irrelevant. But
I got to hear the teams behind them.
Chelsea 7.
Yeah, they're higher than
No.
Chelsea. Yeah, they are. Chelsea has a CL, I know.
Chelsea has
But
Oh, yeah, they
CL.
did win a CL, yeah. Fair list.
Borussia Dortmund 8.
yeah, it's fine.
I don't got
Went
a
to a
problem with
CL.
that.
The heck's Barca?
Roma 9.
Wow. Okay, I don't know what that.
Well, no, they won Conference League, right?
So?
So that probably actually has some type of points associated with it.
Yeah, you get points, yeah. Who's 10?
Barca 10.
That's fine.
No, they
Okay,
shouldn't
well,
be
like-
top 10.
You guys haven't really done anything since 2015 in Champions
Mathematically,
League.
yeah, it's a power ranking. So, yeah, sure. It makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
Roma won a Conference League.
Couple finals.
Chelsea won a Champions League.
You must get a lot of points for making a final.
I guess so,
Yeah.
right?
Like,
No,
'cause
then
I-
Juve would be on there.
But you guys haven't been made in a final in like, what, 10 years?
But we just said like 2010, did we not?
I don't know when this is from. I was,
Yeah,
just
this
making, I,
has
was
to-
ma- I was making that up in my head.
No, I'm saying if we're doing it off 2010, Juve should be in there.
Yeah, if we're doing off 2010, Barca should be like.
Yeah, that's what I'm
second.
saying. So maybe
Yeah.
this is like in the last like.
It's probably like
5
3
years
years,
or
5
something.
years, whatever it is.
I don't think it has a time frame.
I don't know about
What?
Roma being
Okay,
in
so
there.
if we make our own club rankings, let's do a top 5.
I'm okay with
Who's
like,
5?
I'm okay with how
But
it is.
like, what's the premise
Let's just say power rankings.
From
Kind
when?
of
right.
based off of,
this year?
let's say this season.
Okay.
So 5. Who's 5?
Who's 5 this
Can we go
season?
1? Can we start off at 1?
Okay,
So we're
who's
going-
1?
It's easier, like PSG, obviously.
Okay, PSG 1.
Okay.
Who's 2?
Based on this season, who's number 2?
Who's been the second best team
Probably
in the
Barca.
world?
And I wouldn't say second best team in the world, but they have trophies. Now, Inter was technically better,
Trophies,
but they have no trophies to back them up.
deep run.
Okay, so PSG 1 because they have the trophies and a CL final, pretty big. Barca 2, domestic
Trophies,
trophies.
deep run in the CL2. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay, 3,
I'd go into 3.
Inter 3,
I'd probably do Liverpool 3.
Liverpool.
They
What-
got knocked out kind of early in CL, but great Premier League season. Yeah, I mean, who else?
Could be Napoli then, if you're going to go off just season.
No, I don't think it was Napoli.
What domestic
They
trophies?
didn't dominate the league.
No, but I'm saying they're going up against finalists in CL in the league.
They weren't that good. They got smashed 5-0.
Bro, they were that.
They,
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 were
lo- they
pretty
probably
good.
lose points for that.
They were pretty good.
I'd put Liverpool 3rd.
I wouldn't.
I'd put Liverpool 3rd.
Besides the Prem, what else did they win?
Nothing.
Care?
No.
Maybe not.
Did
Maybe
they?
nothing.
They only won the league.
But they dominated.
What about
the
Napoli?
league.
That's what I was saying.
But what did they win?
If we're just going league, then it's,
But what did they win?
well, you can say the same thing for Liverpool. Would they win?
They dominated the league, though.
A shit league.
Still dominated the league.
They
The
dominated.
Serie A was harder than that. Guarantee you.
Yeah, but that's kind of hard to compare.
Yeah, they dominated the league, and they also had a decent run in
They came. Were they the
The
first
Champions
Champions League seed?
their first season
Yeah,
They were.
Champions League.
Yeah, they were.
They
Inter were
dominated
second.
the league, and they had a decent run in said Champions League, and I think they lost to the eventual winners. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They
Lost
knocked
to
out every
PSG,
Prem
yeah.
team pretty much.
I don't mind them third.
Yeah, I don't mind Liverpool third.
I don't agree, but I'll
fourth.
go with it. Then it's
Fourth,
got to
would
be
you say
Inter.
Napoli?
It's got to be Inter.
No.
Inter had the better year, in my opinion. Even though they didn't win any trophies.
How
But
did-
if we're going out power rankings, they're the better team.
Yeah, I mean, they got smashed in the final, but they had a dominant CL run. What, they didn't concede for, or they weren't down for more than what, like 8 minutes or something.
Yeah.
It was like 12 minutes, but after
Pretty good lead up too. They played Barca, they
Yesterday,
played Bayern,
and
a couple
last
other good teams. Man City they played at one point, I think in the group phase. So I'll put Inter fourth.
I like Inter fourth.
Yeah.
Okay. And then 5.
5.
Any other English teams? Maybe.
no,
No, Arsenal's not touching top 5.
not Arsenal.
Sorry, they're not.
It's not-
Madrid.
no, I was about to say not Madrid.
No. Bayern.
It could be Bayern. I feel like it's Bayern Napoli.
Bayern or Napoli?
They both just won the league, right?
Yeah.
One had like an okay run, but not even that great in Champions League. Really, they got knocked out like earlier than I think a lot of people thought.
Did Bayern win Pokal?
No, they didn't win anything else.
Yes, they both have one trophy.
So they both have one trophy, and then you're just maybe a little bit more of a competitive league versus like a team that maybe did a little bit in Champions League. So it's like at that point, flip a coin,
Let me go around.
right?
Everyone choose one.
I'm gonna say Napoli. Like, if we're basing off of just the trophy that they won, how many times have Napoli won that trophy versus how many times Bayern have won that
Yeah,
trophy?
that's fair. Yeah,
Yeah, I'll choose Napoli. They lost their 2 best players. They lost Osimhen
that
and
too.
they lost Kvara mid-season
yeah.
and still managed to regroup and win the league. So
And
Give it to
honestly,
Napoli.
I think like to be honest, like I think if you put them in a one-off game against each other, like I think Napoli would win.
Think so?
Yeah,
Really?
Maybe.
Bayern didn't do it in big games this season at all. If you go look at the games, they were like tie merchants this season. They were just tying every game,
Juve were time rich. I think we had like 22 ties.
right? So I think like no, I'm saying in big games like Bayern, like they weren't necessarily like convincing in a lot of the big games. So and Napoli, I guess they were in some. So
Okay. So what was the top 5?
So we had PSG, Barcelona, Liverpool, or sorry, Inter,
no, you're saying it right.
Liverpool,
Reset.
Liverpool.
Liverpool was third.
Barcelona,
no, PSG were first.
Oh my god.
Wrong with
PSG, Barcelona, Liverpool, Inter, and Napoli.
Yeah.
That's our top 5
There you
clubs this season.
I feel like we're missing someone, but I don't know. I think we're missing like Inter Miami, Al Nasser,
Al Ali.
Al Hilal.
I don't know. Chelsea?
No. Okay, stop.
No, I don't know, bro. I'm just throwing names out there now.
As we look to wind down a little bit here, do we want to make an early Club World Cup winner prediction?
Sure.
Early days. Obviously, you
Yeah,
know,
why not?
we still got some lead up to the tournament. Should be a very fun tournament, but an early shout for a winner. Let's just spit it out, man. I'm gonna say Real Madrid won the Club World Cup.
It's crazy to say that because I was going to say the same thing. Real Madrid, probably the best team in that competition, low key. I mean, they do have a new gaffer. Maybe we see some new gaffer bounce. Who knows? Maybe they don't get used to his system, but easily one of the better teams in the competition.
It's actually crazy you guys said that because I was going to say that too, Real Madrid.
Damn.
It's I'm only saying this because they're going heavy in the transfer market already. That they
Yeah.
already made, 3 signings?
Plus,
Well-
they didn't win any trophies. Well, after 2025.
Yeah, like
be
one
technical.
signing being Xabi Alonso, obviously. But I don't. Grimaldo's not confirmed, is he?
No.
That's probably
No, they're
gonna.
signing that guy from Benfica.
Yeah,
Fair.
Yeah, that young kid.
Carreras. I think
Carreras,
his name is.
yeah.
Yeah, they signed him. They signed Arnold already. Bro, they're making that team for that Club World Cup.
But so you think that Xabi's going to come in, change formation?
I don't think he's changing formation.
He said he is today.
Apparently, they said he's going to do 4-3-3.
That's a different formation.
No,
Then he plays.
What?
He
No,
plays
but it's what
3-4-3.
Real Madrid are primarily play like a 4-3-3 kind of variant.
Yeah, but they were shit with it this season. Some would
It's one
say.
season.
I don't know if Madrid are going to win it. PSG is not. Are they not in the Club World Cup?
no.
Yeah, they are.
Are they? Yeah.
You guys forgot about PSG?
So that's your pick?
I like PSG. Honestly, I also low key I like Man City as well. I think like Pep's like he's itching for not winning anything, so I think he's gonna go pretty hard for it. I think like they'll probably make a signing or two before then, some fresh faces.
Yeah, Roger.
Roger will also be back, so I think they'll be looking to make like a statement, like we're still here type thing. It's gonna be a big team that wins it. Like it's not gonna be like Porto or like one of these.
Porto's a big team.
Malomedy Sundowns. Like it's not gonna be a team like that. Like I think some people like what I mean. People are kind of playing down the Club World Cup a little bit, but I think it's gonna be a big team. I think the team's gonna go hard. There's a lot of money on the line, and it's a statement because this is like the first major edition of the Club World Cup. It's in the U.S. A lot of eyes on football in North America, so I think like all the teams are gonna go hard. I think they're gonna play. I think the teams are gonna bring youngsters with them to maybe play in the group stages, but I think when push comes to shove and like we're in those knockout games, it's gonna be like a proper lineup that's in there. Because the thing is, it's also not like a preseason tournament. I think that's like the big difference. Like preseason tournaments are usually like a little bit later in the year, and like what I mean, like July or August sometimes. So that's where maybe you sometimes see a little bit more lax football.
Players are fat.
But this I think is gonna be like this is like before technically like these players are going on a holiday, right? So these guys I think are gonna be still in pretty top shape. So I think it's going to almost be similar to kind of like the vibe, the effort, and like the kind of environment you get in like a Euro Cup or Copa America World Cup when it's in the summer. Because the players are fit. Like they're still in shape from the season. They haven't necessarily had that time to wind down and kind of make things chill and lax. So I think the team's going to go for it. I got Man City winning it. And it's not just because I'm wearing the kit.
So 3 Madrids, 1 Man City.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Honorable mention, Juve.
Honorable mention, Dortmund.
We being serious?
Honorable mention, Barca.
And plus, like, besides Inter and PSG and Chelsea, like, players have been on low-key vacation right now. Like, I seen Jude on a yacht. Like, they were in Barcelona.
Jude and Job.
Yeah. So, besides those final teams, players have been on vacation for a little bit. So, they're getting a bit of rest. Like,
They're back in train now, I think.
yeah, ahead of Nations League and qualifiers. But they're able to get a bit of a vacation heading into June, so retool, and I think they'll be sharp for Club World Cup for sure. Because it's like a World Cup, it's same date. So
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so the players.
I think it's gonna be a sick tournament. It's gonna look like a World Cup, like it's a FIFA tournament. It's gonna feel like a World Cup, I think, which is cool. Like the scoreboard is gonna feel World Cup-esque. You know what I mean? When a tournament or league has a good scoreboard, it kind of gets me amped.
yeah, it gets me tingling a little bit.
Like we're gonna see games at different times, like a 12 p.m. or like a 3 p.m. or like a 5 p.m. or
That's my only gripe.
Why?
During the week, the game's a little too early. I'm trying to watch. I'm at work.
Yeah.
How am I gonna watch the game at noon?
You'll find a way.
I know I can find a way, but like I think like for the casual fan in North America, it's tough to, I guess, watch some of those games, but I do think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I do think it's corrected like later on. Like I think all the games that are like more knockout-esque are a little bit later, I think, or on weekends to make it a little bit better. But I get it why they do it, because realistically speaking, like if the games are too late at night, like it's tough for the Europeans to watch, right? Yeah. I think you still want everybody to be able to watch it. But no, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm stoked. Some competitive football. That's our teams, so it'll be good. Maybe some new signings before then too. Like
no, there's gonna be a lot of new signings. Like within a week or so, there's gonna be a lot of new signings.
The next 10 days or however long the window's open. I think for the teams that are in the Club World Cup, because their window opened today.
I think all 3 of our teams will have at least one new signing. Within
I don't know about Barca. Don't need to rush.
Barca's gonna sign someone.
Yeah, they're getting Juan Garcia.
Apparently.
There you go.
What about you guys?
Gyökeres.
Yeah, you wish.
He's going to Atletico Madrid. I saw.
No,
today.
he's not.
I saw it today.
He's going to Arsenal.
You think? I don't know. Apparently we're getting Fabio Silva.
Really?
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Okay, you gotta be kidding me.
No, I'm being serious. Fabio Silva apparently is coming. No, he's actually had a good season this year, and he's been turning up a little bit. And we need a non-African striker. We do. I'm being dead ass because AFCON. You need to have a striker who can play while Girassi gone for a couple weeks.
I guess.
No, you do. Well, I guess you do. You need a striker. I don't mind it. He's youngish,
You
right?
should get Under.
Who the hell is Under?
Undav?
Undav.
No, I don't want Undav. That guy's low.
Under's the Turkish guy.
Undav, he's not what you need. He's too small. I need a target.
Yeah, but he's just a
Give me
backup striker.
Fabio Silva. Huh?
He's a backup striker though.
Yeah, but you want the guy to play the same style.
I guess.
That's all I got.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting tournament. We're going to be tapped in, speaking about it. And this is technically the end of the 2024-25 football season.
Is it? Or
Yeah,
does it
season's
conclude
done.
after Club World Cup?
No, technically it's part of the season, but it's a summer tournament.
Yeah, that's fair.
Season's done. Champions League final is the climax of the season, and it was a good season.
It was.
I had so much fun watching Barca this season. Got some international football coming up. Brazil versus Ecuador, big game. Ancelotti's first game as gaffer, so it'll be fun. Nations League qualifiers. Italy got a big game coming up. France versus Spain. Germany versus Portugal.
Yep.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Fun games, man. International football, favorite time of the year, and then big tournament, Club World Cup, tournament soccer, man. It's the best. So I'm excited. Thanks everybody for tuning in this season. It was
Thanks.
fun. I want to shout out an audio listener as we wind down here. Shout out Cliff, my boy Cliff. You're a legend. Thanks for always tuning in. Appreciate you. And anything else to say, gentlemen?
And we're just gonna say thanks, Cliff.
Thanks, Cliff.
Thanks, Cliff.
Thanks, Cliff. We
Thanks,
love you
Cliff.
guys. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in this season. And, yeah, we'll see you guys shortly.
We're gonna see you guys in 3 years probably, but
We'll still be here. We're literally not going anywhere. We'll
Yeah,
still be here. But, yeah.
we're here.
We the culture, man. And with that, we out.
Bye.